Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday, happy Memorial Day weekend. I want to start this one off, and the title of this video is Accountability is Like the Missing Baby Daddy, or Accountability, he is the missing baby daddy. So, to get it started, before I say anything, thank all of you guys for tuning in on this Sunday. I don't expect too many people to be tuning in because I know you guys are out doing other stuff, but I figured I'd just go live because this topic just crossed my mind in light of other videos that I've watched. So, I'm going to be discussing the topic of accountability and more so, you know, specifically accountability with women. And the reason why there's accountability, lack of accountability with everyone, but I'm just talking about this because the accountability seems to be acceptable more so as far as a woman goes. And it's kind of used as a crutch, I think, a lot of times because women tend to get more support from others. As far as most stand-up guys will not allow another man to place blame or to not take responsibility for what it is that he does or his responsibilities for anything else for that matter. But I see this a lot going on, and I just wanted to talk about it. So the reason why I say that the accountability is like the baby daddy, because this missing baby daddy is a lot of times they'll say, or women will say, or someone will ask, who is this child's father? And the baby daddy is missing. And who's that baby daddy's name? What's that baby daddy's name? Let's just name him accountability at the end of the day. Because there is no accountability. And when it comes to asking or if a certain type of woman is accountable or not, that accountability is missing also, just like that baby daddy. That's why I correlated it as such. But as I once again want to touch on is that this isn't exclusive just to women. You know, just because it's a woman. There are men who have these issues also, and there are people who enable these men to conduct themselves in this manner. And at least those, this comes from personal experience, me seeing this, me knowing of people, me interacting with people that we see all the time that are in the news. They blame their woes and issues on men, and they often have nothing to do with anything. At the end of the day, the men are to blame as far as whatever it is that they do in life. The men are to blame. You got, y'all know a bunch of celebrities that y'all hear about, i.e., off the top of my head, thinking of Halle Berry. As many times as she's been married, it's never been her fault. It's always been the man's fault. Whatever man she's dealt with, there's always been, a track record of it's the men that she deals with, whether it be the actual men or it's her choosing the men, or it could be just her. Because if you have a woman who constantly goes through all these relationships and then people always take up for her and say it's not you, it's the man, then that's just a whole lot of men, don't you think? You have to look at, and that goes back to when we say things about people, or things are constantly being said about a person. You have to say it's not the people, it's that person. But for some reason, certain people will get a pass. Same thing with the J-Lo's, things like that. My sister, for example, who I've discussed, she's been through 4 husbands, and she's quick to brag that she left all 4 of her husbands. So is the issue really all 4 of her husbands, or was it her? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And is it, furthermore, should she be accountable for the type of man that she chooses at the end of the day? Chances are no. It's going to fall back on the man once again. So, and with this, after any of these issues, any of these things that come up, people tend to be more sympathetic, obviously, to a woman's story and what it is that she tells. And it's always by default the man's fault. You know what I'm saying? It's sympathetic, and have to say, even if it's lies, they'll still listen and believe it all just by virtue of her being a woman. And I'll go into saying that, because I wrote about this like a year ago, and I happened to read it a couple days ago. And you look at the fact of someone who's cheating, right? If a man cheats, it's a man's fault, always. But if a woman cheats, it's not her fault, it's the man's fault. It's something the man did that caused her to cheat, that caused her to step outside whatever relationship. The man may have not been treating her, the way she wanted to be treated. He may have not been listening to what it was that she had to say, caring. He may not have, been chivalrous. He may not have held her hand. He may not have massaged her back. He may not have cooked. He might not have had a job or whatever. So whatever it is, that falls upon him, not the woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's not her fault. It's the same thing about if a man is insecure, it's his fault. But if a woman is insecure, it's the man's fault. He's the reason for her insecurity, and it's supposed to be his job to make her secure. So it's not her fault. It's his fault. And I can go on things like if a man gets angry, and it's the woman that makes him angry, it's not the woman's fault. It's the man's fault. But if a woman gets angry, it's the man's fault. It's not her fault that she's angry. And same thing as far as a woman. If a woman assaults a man, if she hits a man, if she beats on a man, regardless of people say how funny that looks, it's not her fault. It's the man's fault that she's hitting him. And I was told that personally by a woman that I shouldn't be held accountable for hitting you or what it is that I've done, or so on. Any type of assault that was done by a woman putting her hands on a man, it's the man's fault. He's the one who caused it. But let it be flipped around on the other side. Like a woman could be beating a man bloody, and people would say, well, she's justified. But if it was the other way around and a man was putting hands on the woman, beating the woman bloody and things of that nature, you would say, obviously, it's the man's fault. You know what I mean? So I've been told it's there's really no injuries that a woman can do to a man. So you shouldn't be concerned about that. But you got shows like Snap and all these other crazy stories where women are actually killing men on a regular basis. No problem. And a lot of women tend to get off because they'll say that it's the man's fault and the man's not there to tell the story. He might have done this, or he might have had said abuse, or he's abusing her all this time. It might not even be true, but she has that to fall back on, and she's believe about it, and the man is dead and gone. Same thing with self-esteem. A man is responsible for his own self-esteem. How dare he say a woman is the cause for him having low self-esteem? But when it comes to a woman, she can say that the man is the reason why she has low self-esteem. It's called self-esteem for a reason. It's called the esteem of yourself. And nobody should be able to reduce that if you're confident in yourself. So, I could go on with a lot of this stuff. The victimization, men are not entitled to any of this to even say anything about victimization. A woman can easily come and say that she's been victimized. A man's not even entitled to have a bad day. You know what I'm saying? A woman is by all means entitled to have a bad day, but a man is never entitled to have a bad day, at least from my perspective. Another thing that comes to mind when I was thinking about this topic is a woman will choose a certain type of man who she consciously knows. Everybody knows that this man is dysfunctional, i.e. he won't keep a job, he does drugs, he sells drugs, he maybe quote unquote what they would call a thug or a gangster. You know what I'm saying? And then she gets into the relationship with him knowing well ahead, and then she blames whatever happens during the relationship on the man, and then after that will turn and blame all men in society and relate them to this guy that she decided to choose, and things like that, knowing ahead that this guy really isn't about anything, at least from the outside. So it's just it's just, to me, I just can't understand how that, how you can just, your mind gets to the point where you say, well, I'll just be dismissive and just say it's not me, it's the man that's doing this. Same thing with some women who are broke in life, have no money in life, or are struggling in life. You're broke because either, if this, for example, you may be giving all your money to a man who's not working, or you may be supporting a man or supporting his habits, you know, and that's the man's fault, but you're not doing anything about it. Same thing with, you have bad credit because this man messed up your credit, stuff like that. So it's constantly something that I'm hearing, especially in the field that I'm in. Also, is that my credit is messed up because this man did this, not because of my own doing. You know, same thing. I deserve better, or you'll say that you deserve better, than what it is that's being done to you, or what it is that has happened to you. But what's up, Margot? You deserve better than what's happening to you, but at the same time, in the same breath, you don't look at the fact that you might be a liability. You know, you may be a liability, but yet still you deserve it all. You deserve the best. And in the grand scheme of things, that might be true, but based upon the decision that you make and you're still not accountable for it, you're not going to learn from anything. And that's the biggest thing. As long as you are not accountable for what it is that you do, you're going to remain in the same position in life, and you're never really going to get anything better until you come to that understanding. Same thing with women who are overweight. They may say that they're overweight or something like that because of a man. And that if a man doesn't accept you because of your weight, or you tend to not look at other women who aren't overweight and be envious and say it's someone else's fault, it's not my fault, I'm overweight. And how dare a man not be attracted to me or want me by just because I'm overweight? Why is he not attracted? Something must be wrong with him. It must be his fault that he's not attracted to me, even though I'm overweight and I'm not doing anything about it. And it's not my fault that I'm overweight. It's just that everyone else in my family is overweight. So by virtue of that, it's cool for me to be overweight, and it's not my fault because everyone else is overweight. So this is, common stuff I hear. But one that I really want to bring up is the skin bleaching and the weave. I watched a video of a girl talking about this, and I hear this a lot. And it's thrown out. A lot of this stuff that I'm saying is shared on social media, and a lot of people, a lot of women repost it and they reshare this stuff. And I see it, and it's like it makes it cool. It makes it acceptable to not be accountable for it. Like darker skin or darkened complexion women will say that they bleach their skin because of a man being attracted to lighter women, or they get a weave in their hair because of a man being attracted to women with longer hair. My daughter's out here crying. I'm gonna have to wrap this up, but they're being having lighter skin features and stuff like that. That's why they're doing this. So I figured her brother is supposed to give him the bottle. Hold on a second. Okay, I guess they gave her the bottle. So anyway, bleaching skin, all that, and I have low self-esteem. I bleached my skin because black men do not like me, so I have to bleach my skin to look like lighter women, and I have to wear weaves because black men like women who have European style, features and stuff like that. That is so reckless and so stupid when a lot of times you do it just to impress other women, but the accountability lies on the man. Is the reason why you're doing this. For example, I know a lot of women who like dudes that have gold teeth and long locks, things like that. I'm not going to do that, So why should you do that if you feel that, if that's your excuse why to get a man is that you have to do this to get a man? I'm never going to put gold teeth in my mouth or, put locks in my hair. If a woman likes cornrows, I'm gonna get cornrows or something like that. That's not gonna make me do that. But like I said, you can throw the accountability on to someone else is the reason why you're doing the things that you're doing. Saying your kids not learning in school, it's the teacher's fault. It's not your fault. Your kids are acting up and misbehaving, hyped up in school. It's not your fault. It's the teacher's fault. Something's wrong with that teacher. My kids aren't like that. Why would they be doing that? Even going on to sleeping with multiple men as you're growing up, or being a prostitute, or doing this, getting a disease from these men. It's not your fault that you're sleeping with these men. It's your father's fault that you're sleeping with these men because he wasn't there. So, I mean, you can only place but so much blame, but you're the one who's making the conscious decision to have sex with men or multiple men and do these things. So it's only but so far you can go with that. So it's, in my opinion, this accountability, the moment you start being more accountable, things will change for you. And I think men find it very attractive, a woman who's accountable and takes responsibility for what it is that she does instead of just being dismissive and blaming it on something else. So I know this was a quick one, real quick. I don't have too many people on here, like I said. But I'm going to go ahead and get ready and log off here. I appreciate you guys who did tune in today and who have the comments that I did get on here. Hasn't really been too interactive today. So if you're in the chat and you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Hello, good afternoon, Mashonda. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Samuel Woods, what's happening? Shout out. It's free. It's just as quickly as you clicked on the button to watch my video, you can click on the like button. Make sure you guys comment. I haven't heard too many comments on here on this topic. For those of you who are watching this video later, make sure you comment. I want to hear what you have to say, your opinions, your thoughts, your gripes, complaints, all that other good stuff. It'll be interesting to hear what you have to say about the topic. Make sure you guys follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Add me on there. Put out content on there as well. Check me out on Amazon. The books I have up there. Make sure y'all get a copy. Miss Sassy Diva, what's happening? I appreciate it. I will try to as best I can. If y'all got any topics y'all like me to discuss, or you got any questions offhand, feel free to email me as well. I have no problem doing those. The link for the Well of Wisdom is in the description below as you're watching this video. It's a pretty quiet day. Like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and log off. Remember, anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. For all you who have tuned in later, you guys can just go back and replay this video. So peace be upon you all and the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. And I'll see you guys on the next video. I may do another live chat probably later this evening or something like that. So I'll catch you guys then. All right. Peace.